What's up, everybody? This review, we're taking a look at the Savage Crucible Royal Guard. Now, this is my first Savage Crucible figure that I've owned. I picked it up at Ishcon, and I don't know, they had a bunch of really awesome stuff, and I wanted to pick up a little bit more, but this ended up being the only one that I grabbed from there. But it looks really awesome. Here you got the packaging, you got the artwork, you got the name. It looks really cool, really nice design. You got the side, Royal Guard. You get the back with a little bit of a story. Other side. Now this one does have window packaging, so when you open it up, you see the figure, which looks really cool. And then you get another part of the story here. Yeah, he looks really awesome. You can see the accessories. You got the nice window package. Definitely ready to get this guy open and check him out. Taking the Royal Guard outside of the packaging, on the left side of that flap, you had got the story, part of the story. And then on the background, when you slide the tray out, you can see there's a map of the world for Savage Crucible, which is pretty cool. It wraps all the way around in there in the box. It's not removable. I thought it was going to be removable. That's okay. Pretty cool to see the world, and as you get an idea of the figures, like where they are from, what areas, that sort of thing, allegiances. But check this guy out. He looks awesome, right? Check out that armor, the paint, the way the light is hitting it. It looks really good. I'll let him stand there, and then we'll take a look at his accessories, because he does come with a couple weapons. See if he'll stand like that. He's still a little stiff there. There we go. All right. So, accessories. We've got an extra pair of hands. He's got gripping hands, C hands for his weapons, that sort of thing. And then we've got these little open clawing hands. Really nice. I like it. Choking somebody, grabbing for something. Very expressive hands. I love that. I love that sculpt, wherever the hands are like that. We've got a couple of blades here that come in the plastic tray with him. I mean, look at that. I love the shape of them, of the blades. They're damaged. This one's got little chips in there. Shiny silver, nice silver. Look at that little copper color. That's really awesome. Got the wraps around the handle that have a dry brushing through there, a wash in there. Looks really nice. And the copper on the end. It just looks really, really good. And the paint job on that sword is just really nice. Then you get this other sword here. I love the shape of it, the style of it. All the chips, and it's worn. Got that handle right there. Looks really nice. Really cool weaponry. And then he did come with, on the bottom, while those two were in the tray, on the bottom was this extra bag here. And it was just rested there. And it's got the same swords just in the bag. I don't know why it didn't have its own designated spot like these swords did, or what the reasoning was behind that. That'd be something to ask about later on. Yeah, same exact thing. The chips and everything like that, and got this sword here. Look really good. Same stuff. Looks really good. That's it for his accessories. Now we take a look at him. So this Royal Guard looks amazing. He looks really good. I mean, you got scales all over the place. You can look at his head. There's nice texturing all throughout. You got the eyes. You got that white going down the face. Looks good. Mouth does articulate, and you can see the inside is painted. Really cool. The neck's got that nice little white, lighter skin in there. So does the belly. And you can see all the little texturing in there. The arms look good. The stripes on them. The armor looks really nicely done. You've got this nice little copper look all the way around. You can see the little rivets in the armor all throughout. Got the shin guards. Look really good. The feet. Got that texturing on them. The tail's got the markings textured. It's got this green like cloth covering for the groin area. You've got the sheaths for the swords. He's got 2 on his hips, 2 on his back. They're gray, but you got the brown leather and then the copper little clasp on there. You got copper in there. It looks really good. Check that out. One thing was while I was there, they had a pack. So these guys are modular, so you can take this armor off and mix and match with other ones and do what you want to do, that sort of thing. But they had packs, and one of them does involve this guy, and you can get a different head that you can put on there with a couple extra armor bits, and it would have made it a completely different character. It looked really good, but that's one thing I wish I would have picked up as soon as I got him. I don't know why I didn't. I think I was just like, I'll come back, and time gets away from you, and you're hanging out with everybody, having fun, and I think you got more time than you do, because time was flying. But yeah, it looks great. The paint, the eyes, so much detail in this guy. I don't think there's a spot on there that doesn't really have any kind of texturing or detail. For articulation, the head moves up about that far, moves down about that far. It's all in the look like double ball peg in the upper neck. No hinge or anything like that, but it does look pretty good. Of course, the jaw's articulated. We saw that. For a T pose, arm goes up pretty much to a T. The armor doesn't really get in the way. It's pretty, it's linked to the back of the shoulder. And it gives away. It gives a little bit because it's a soft plastic. Upper bicep cut, single jointed elbow. Doesn't quite get 90. The sculpt in the bicep kind of gets away in the way just a little bit right there. I like to have at least 90, but it still looks good on him. And then the hinge and rotation is all coming from the wrist with the hand. You got a diaphragm cut, so he's going to lean forward about that far. He's going to lean back way far. When you do, you get a little gap in here, but if you're doing that, I'm assuming you're going to pose it a certain way that looks more natural. You get a really nice rotation from that diaphragm. When you don't have an ab crunch, I expect that diaphragm to give you a lot more range of motion to make up for it. And he bends forward really nice. Then it looks like he's got so he's got like a ball waist also to go with it. You don't get much motion out of just the ball, but it does help. I mean, that looks pretty like a natural movement. You got the ball joint in the hip area with the upper thigh cut. Leg goes forward only about that far. Starts to hit the top of that cloth in there, or the crotch piece, the sculpt. But you do get the upper thigh cut. You get this single jointed knee. Actually, it's Had to double check on that. It's double jointed. I only had to double check because I know I messed with the other one and it was double jointed. So double jointed knee goes about that far. Looks pretty natural. Looks pretty good for him. I like that. The hinge, pivot for the foot, and then you get the toe joints. I'm not the biggest fan of toe joints, but I think these guys will probably use it more in a display or something like that. Just in case you couldn't see that. Hinge, toe hinge. So yeah, it looks really good. And then you got the tail that's articulated in a couple spots here. It's got a hinge here at the very base, which is pretty cool. This kind of gets in the way, but you can move it around. And it looks cool. Looks really good. So you can have them kind of running. Make them look a little more Naruto run. Really cool. I really like this guy a lot. Again, just looking at him when he was on the table, I was like, I gotta pick him up. Let's put a couple of these accessories in there in his hand or on him. Here is the Royal Guard with the swords put away. We've got the alternate hands on him, both of them, which look really good. And you've got the other swords in the back. I'm not sure if they're pretty much the same exact sheaths, so I don't know which ones go where or if they're supposed to, but I think this just falls into the line of it's your figure, do what you want, set it up how you want, which is great. I just figured it'd be easier to get access to these larger ones if they weren't so close on there, but maybe it would look pretty cool on the back. I'm not sure. But they look really awesome. And again, the way the light's hitting off of him. Just like so cool. Check that out. And here he is with the larger of the blades in his hand, which looks really great. Very intimidating. And how cool is that? Imagine him flying through the air trying to hack you down like that. This is a great looking figure. I mean, that looks intimidating. He just, conquered another warrior. Got a roar. Very cool. Now, I'm not going to put the smaller swords in his hands. I think we got an idea. Swords are swords, a little bit smaller. But I am going to show off this other one, this red one. Now, this red one doesn't have anything to do with this figure. It didn't come in the pack or anything like that. I picked it up from Savage Crucible. It was at Ishcon. If you were one of the first 50 people, I believe, to buy something from them or get something from them, they gave you a random blind bag weapon. And I ended up getting this really nice blade here. They were all different from each other. The different colors, the different styles. I really like this blade. Really cool. And because I got it with this guy, I'm probably going to leave it with him. Um, he's got all kinds of blades on him. He's so cool looking. This is now his, I guess, just because I'll associate it with him. But I just thought that was really cool, and it'd be a time to show it because there wouldn't be any other time I believe that I would have that out. So for a quick size comparison, here he is next to the retro card Cobra Viper and the Maximum Spidey, which he is larger, taller, little wider. Definitely than Spidey. This Viper looks almost as beefy as this Royal Guard, but just not as tall. And then we've got in Mythic Legions Sir Elijah, which I think would mix in very well with them. I think the Savage Crucible kind of fits the Mythic Legions thing. You don't really need to if you don't want to, but pretty cool. Here's a skeleton, which if you're going to have these dino humanoid type stuff, you probably got little skeletons running around, that sort of thing. This whole mythical type universe, which looks really cool. For the next comparison, we have another Savage Crucible figure. This is Viteris. I believe this is Viteris. If you saw my stop motion that I did for Ishcon, then you saw this Viteris in there. It was sent to me to kind of use for the stop motion from a friend, and I ended up buying it from him. I really like this figure a lot, but I bought it afterwards. I gave it back, but then he asked me if I was interested in it, and I really liked it. This was my first introduction to Savage Crucible. Was this figure here, and I really loved the look of it, the details of it, the movement, everything like that, which made me really want to check out Savage Crucible figures in general, and then especially check out that table at Ishcon. So that's when I stopped by there, and I definitely wasn't leaving without the Royal Guard because I mean that's a very awesome looking figure. But I really love this one too, and he has the bloody swords. I mean, the details in this guy look crazy. And you can see the shoulder armors are the same. But, I mean, look how drastic those guys are. The paint jobs are amazing. They come with different hands, weapons. I think that it's pretty good for, the price, like what you're getting. But yeah, you can see he's a little bit taller. I'm sure the other ones will scale slightly different, but he may. I don't think this part here. Yeah, the top part of the head does not come off of this, like the mask portion. So I don't even know that that's Viteris or not. Could be somebody else because I didn't have the box or anything like that. I'm not sure. And I'm still getting into the line, so not sure who's part of what faction, that sort of thing yet. But I will because I will be getting into this line even more. All right. So overall, I really love this figure. The sculpt looks amazing. The articulation is really good for what they are. The armor looks awesome. There's like not a spot really of no detail or texturing somewhere on there. The different weapons, you got the extra hands, the hands that I need. So you got gripping hands, you've got those expressive hands. Like that's all I really need. I have a really good impression of this line so far. They look amazing. All of them that I've seen. Very well detailed. And I think I'm definitely I know I'm gonna be picking up more. I won't even say it. I think I'm going to. I'm definitely gonna be picking up more of these guys. I don't know if it's something I'll pick up every one of them, but you got so many options. I'm not sure if the only reason I wouldn't pick up any of them or some of them is, or if I'm being selective, is just because I have so many lines that I pick up. But I think they kind of deserve me giving them more of a shot. and more space on the shelves because they are very awesome. I'm just kind of like really fascinated by them because of all of those things. They're a little costly, but also not really. They're a higher price point than I think people want to pay for figures. Not bad, maybe like 40, $50, maybe something a little bit more than others. Um, but they give you exactly what you want for that increase in price. We're used to like Legends or Joes or other figures. The price of figures have been going up, and but these guys give you. It's not like they give you the same thing and just increase the price. I feel like these guys give you what you're paying for. I really do feel that way because these sculpts are amazing, and the paint on them, the apps, the colors, everything on them looks amazing. I mean, the blood on the blades, all of the blades, the copper, the wraps are washed. So many different things, and it's really cool that these guys are parts are interchangeable. I think that really helps the line a lot too. You can mix and match and just do everything, and you got like different packs. I got to track down the pack for this guy again. Um, it's just so cool, really cool. I'm really fascinated by it right now. I think they did a really great job. I really like this figure. I hope I showed you enough of him so that you can decide whether this line is for you. It is very different, like the humanoid dinosaur thing, but also a really cool figure is hard to deny. Um, I know some people probably try to make their own realms or something like that. Um, they did a good job. Really cool. Just, I think me personally, I feel like if anybody was to give it a shot, they'd really, really enjoy these figures. And I hope I showed that through the video. So yeah, as always, I hope I helped you out. Decide whether you want to pick it up or not. Again, it's always up to you. It's your collection. Do what you want to do with it. Have fun. Enjoy it. Um, I'm gonna enjoy this guy. I think he's really awesome. Really, both of them. And I know for sure I'll definitely be picking up some more. So that's gonna be it for this review. I will catch y'all in the next one. Later.